You know, with the passing of some of the icons this week, we've had Ozzy Osbourne, he's gone. Had the guitar player for Golden Earring, he's gone. The bassist for Ruckus is gone, which y'all might know him as Terry Bollea, Hulk Hogan. Yeah, he's gone. Chuck Mangione is gone. It's crazy. You know, to see all our legends going away. Remember, if this video is helpful in any kind of way, please hit the like and subscribe button and become part of the channel. So let's get started. And it made me start thinking about doing a video. Because as of late, I've had a lot of people come in and they've been bringing collections. Multiple guitars, amps, pedals, whatever. And I'm getting a lot of them from people that have died. These people have passed on, they've moved on to the other side, and now their families are stuck with all these guitars and they need to move them along. So the question comes about, what happens to your guitars when you pass on? Everyone always wonders that. You don't want to think about it, but you often wonder about it. And I'm going to tell you a couple things I want you to do if you really are worried about it. I'll tell you about that in just a little bit. But right now, let's talk about what happens when you pass away. You know, we don't think about it, you know, and we really don't like to think about it. But your loved ones, trust me, they think about it. I've had several people come in and say, yeah, my dad's getting up in age and he's got a bunch of guitars. What am I going to do with them? You know, do you buy them? Can you tell me where I can, get rid of them? And then I discuss to them what their options are and stuff like that, if it's something that's viable to me or someone else that I may know. Because I don't buy everything. You know, there are many things that I have to say, sorry, I don't buy that. In fact, I just told somebody that just about a half hour ago. But what happens is this. You pass on, you leave a large room full of guitars or storage unit or whatever, because I have been to storage units where there's been multiple guitars and amps, studio equipment, everything you could ever imagine for a guitar player or a band have been in these storage units or even these houses. And what happens is this. I look at the stuff, I decide whether I want to buy all of it or just some of it. And this is the same thing that goes with, any other music store. They have to decide what they want. And usually you'll try to buy the whole thing. You'll try to buy the whole thing, just get it out of their life. And that's really what they want. Trust me, they want it gone. They don't want to have all this stuff. They want it gone. Gone. Which is sad. And we make them a price, for everything. We give them a price and they say yay or nay. The unfortunate thing is, a lot of times they say yay. And some of these prices are, they're definitely lower than they should be in most circumstances. But you have to remember, when we're buying 150 guitars and 20 amps and 45 pedals and monitors and stuff that's actually going to be just thrown out. There's always stuff that just goes straight to the curb because it's obsolete. And which is sad. That's what happens. And So, we buy this stuff knowing that not all of it is going to actually sell. So load it up with a van or a truck or whatever and take it away. And then we have to find a place to store this stuff. So there's another thing. I remember buying this collection of this guy, 60 something guitars and all his amps and all this stuff, and not having a place for it. I'm like, now what do I do? And I ponied up and found a place for it. So I got those guitars, I put everything away and all that stuff. And to this day, I still have quite a few of those guitars that I'm still trying to get rid of. And amps as well. And I know pedals as well that were from that collection. And that's been many years ago. So, so that's one thing that happens. And that's kind of the good part, that these kids, the children of the parent that has passed away has actually taken the guitars and moved them on to somebody else. But the other situation is this. And this is the sad truth, and I'm going to tell you a story that it happened just a few years ago. I was traveling along a road. I actually went to might have been an estate sale or something like that, looking for some stuff. And they didn't have guitars at that estate sale, so it really doesn't have anything to do with that. But I was riding along down these back streets and stuff, and it was trash day, and I noticed a big pile of stuff on the side of the road. And in this big pile of stuff was a guitar case sticking out of this trash can. And I went, what is that? And I looked and I can kind of see an R on the top of this guitar case, like, kind of R and some other letters underneath, but I couldn't make them out because I was riding by. So I made a circle around, came back, and when I came back, I knew exactly what that case was. It was a Parker Fly, an American Parker Fly that was in that case. At least I thought it was just a case. At least I hoped it was just a case, because I would hate for anybody to throw away a Parker Fly. But to my dismay, they threw a Parker Fly away, along with this guy's amplifiers, all his other stuff, his lamps, his furniture, everything, were all just to the curb, because his kids didn't want the stuff. They didn't care about the stuff, and they wanted it gone. And they weren't willing to take the time to try to sell it, or maybe they didn't have time to sell it. Maybe they were this is another situation. The kids aren't from here. They live in Seattle. So they come in across the coast to wherever. I'm in Florida, so maybe they come across from Seattle to Florida. It's a long haul. They only have a few days to get rid of all dad's stuff or grandpa's stuff, and they get rid of it. And they don't have time to go to, the local music store and try to get rid of it. Nor do they care. They just say, you know what? I got 3 days. I got to get back to work. I'm cleaning out the house. I'm putting it by the curb. If somebody wants it, they can take it. I don't care. Needless to say, that's what happened with me. I saw the stuff. I grabbed it. Sure. It's a Parker Fly, a USA Parker Fly that was worth a good bit of money. the little Fender Champ, worth a little bit of money. And, he had some nice, artwork, some lamps and all kinds of stuff that was in there that, somebody would like. And I'm sure somebody came along and got some of that stuff. I think it was kind of a good misfortune that they actually had the stuff out on trash day when there was an estate sale not far from there. So some of those people probably did the same thing I did, drove through the area there, maybe taken a turn off and saw the big mound of stuff out there and stopped and grabbed some stuff as well for maybe their thrift store or whatever. But that's what happens to your stuff. Your kids don't care about it. And just think about that. If you have kids that are living in another city and they have to come down just for a few days to get your stuff, they probably don't care about it. And they're going to probably throw it away. And that's the terrible thing. It's a terrible thing. So what I'm going to tell you right now is some tips to help you get along to the next step. When you are getting ready, you think you're going to die, or maybe you're just older and you just want to make sure that your stuff is safeguarded. Put it in your will. What you want your guitars, or what you want to happen to your guitars, is what I should say. What you want to happen to your guitars. Whether you want to give it to your friend, whether you want to donate it to somebody, or like I had a guy recently, he put in his guitar cases, take to Randy. Randy will buy it. So the collection came in, it came to me, and I got the stuff, and I'm happy. I'm happy somebody thought about me, because he knew his family did not care about it, and they didn't. They could care less about it. It wasn't their thing. So here it stands, or here it stood. I think some of it's actually still here. It's there was a lot, just to say that. Another larger collection. So you want to make sure you do that. You want to make sure that you make sure the stuff goes to the right place. It doesn't. Now, you don't have to always put it in the will. If you don't want to put it in a will, find a piece of paper and type it out. Type the whole thing out. What you want to happen to your guitars. Give extreme details. Exactly where you want it to go. Because if it's just kind of vague, they're going to go, I don't know what to do with this stuff. Tell them, hey, I wanted to go to Ken's Music, because Ken's Music on 33rd and 4th and Yorkshire, Maine, whatever. I don't know. I'm just making up stuff, all right? So you want to send it to that guy because he's always been nice to me. Bingo. It goes off to him. Or give the black Les Paul to Yvonne. And your kids are going to go, who's Yvonne? Yvonne whatever, give it to Yvonne whatever her name is. And because she was a big groupie of the band that I used to play in 40 years ago. So you want to give her the guitar. Or maybe, give this pedal collection to Bobby, my best friend, who I played in 5 bands with. Give him all this stuff. He'll know what to do with it. And that's another thing. You can also, if you have a friend that does play music or did play music, but he knows a lot about it, make sure you put in there, contact him so he can tell them exactly what to do with this stuff, or put him in charge of it. Or her, or whoever, it's just, yeah, it's crazy, but your stuff doesn't deserve to go to the curb. It does not. I mean, there's some stuff, yes, does deserve to go to the curb, but a lot of it doesn't. If it's a good guitar, if you've got like 6 Les Pauls, there's no reason for those Les Pauls to go to the curb. So, but I'm telling you, if you don't do this, there is a chance that those guitars will go to the curb, just like that Parker Fly did. Remember, your stuff is only valuable to you. It's not valuable to anybody else unless they are sharing the same likes as you. But your kids, they're just something that you grew up doing. They might want to keep one guitar maybe to kind of carry your memory on. And usually that guitar is going to be one that they remember you playing. But for the most part, it's just stuff. Doesn't matter to them. It's dad stuff, not their stuff, you know. And that's a sad truth. I've been in that situation as well. My in-laws lived with us for 11 years. They left us 3 generations of different stuff. Did all their stuff make it? No. Unfortunately, some of their stuff went to the curb. And a lot of it actually got donated. You want to donate to, you know, a Humane Society or you know, somebody like that, you know, your local Veterans Association. Give to a charity that supports autism or something like that. But don't go, you know, Goodwill is not Goodwill anymore. I think they started with good intentions, but I'm just saying. So, anyways, that's my tip for you. So, if they don't like it, too bad. Change your ways. Anyways, all right, guys, I hope this video has helped you with your journey on preparing for that next step. I know the younger kids don't think about it right now, but trust me, think about it. Tomorrow's not promised. So just letting you know, it's not promised. So, you know, write up a list, you know, what, you know, if you think you're going to keep those guitars for many, many years, write a list and let everybody know what you want to happen to them. All right. Until next time, guys, please hit the like and subscribe button, and please be nice to each other. And till next time, have a great one.